ton of bricks. Doesn't matter, weak or strong. Take your time and do your tricks. All I do is sing along. Yeah, I need you around for brighter light and firmer ground.
What's up, guys? We are back. Episode 6? 5? I keep messing that up. I guess
I'll keep track for you.
I'm too turned.
Too
Stoked. Well, we are on our way to Valdosta, Georgia. We are going to a wedding. Yes, we are a wedding of one of my buddies from one of 3 colleges I went to. So we're excited about that. We thought it would be a good idea to just record in the car, and
that'd be fun. Different background.
I will be paying attention to the road mostly.
I will have the questions on.
So we're gonna dive right into it.
Yeah. Do you want to tell your?
So we're gonna talk about some road trips. So we thought we found some funny road trip stories on Reddit, and I got a few, and Sydney's got a few, and we thought it'd be funny just to talk about it while we're on the road.
Yeah.
So, I'll go first. So, this was back when I was 12 years old. For all you baseball players out there, you probably went to Cooperstown at 12. It's like a big tournament in New York, Cooperstown, New York. And the field is like 200 feet long, big old green walls. So it's like a mini Fenway Park. You know how Fenway Park's got the big wall, and it's not obviously that big, but it's cool. So my parents thought it was a great idea, just a fabulous idea, to go on a 16-hour car ride with myself at 12, which I was a nightmare anyway, complaining all the time. That's what I did. And a 8-year-old brother and a 7-year-old sister. So they said, let's pack up. We're going to go on this long, long road trip to New York by car from Georgia. And we're going to stop in all these places. We're going to make this a trip. We're going to stop in Virginia. Yeah, we're going to stop in Virginia, Pennsylvania. We're going to go see the Hershey Park and all this stuff. So, but that was all on the way back. So we wanted to get up there quick and have a little. We went like 2 days before the tournament started or something, and we kind of hung out and whatever, family stuff. And we got knocked out of the tournament, whatever, and my dad's like, all right, we're all heading home. And we're all thinking, oh, we're about to go see the Hershey's chocolate place. We're going to go taste chocolate. We're going to go do all this stuff. And
the fun stuff that you were promised.
Yeah, the fun stuff, the promise. The 12-year-old kid that wants a lollipop in his mouth every 30 minutes, And and we start driving, and we were driving on the highway, and my dad's like, kids, look, that's the exit right there for Hershey's milk chocolate. And we're like, oh, yeah. My mom's excited. We're all excited. And he's like, yep, we're not going to be stopping there this year. So we didn't stop. And then another stop happened. A cool little state we wanted to go see with whatever. And he's like, yep, we're going to keep on going. We'll get this next time. And we kept doing that all the way back home. And we got home, and we were like, what do we do? And, it's like my sister... my sister was crying the whole time. My brother playing on Nintendo DS or something, and I'm just back there, whatever, and it was just funny because the whole week leading up to the trip, we were like, oh my God, we're going to the Hershey's Park, we're going to New York, we're going to all these cool places.
Yeah, you were excited.
We didn't even hit one of them. And it just ruined my childhood dream. So I've still never been to that Hershey's place, but I heard it was cool, and maybe I'll take my kids one day because my dad didn't want to take me. But no, it was funny. And then next time my brother turned 12 years old and they played in Cooperstown, they flew. So
Yeah.
I think that was
Never
a better
again.
option.
I think
Yeah,
that
never
was
again.
Drive.
Yeah, well, you have 3 little kids. It's
a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah. That's funny though.
Yeah, so what about, you got a story for us?
Well, I just found one off like Reddit and I just thought it was funny. So, this is. Oh, you want me to hold it? Oh, okay, sorry.
You're going to have to hold it. It's loud.
Oh, yeah. Truck's loud. Okay, so this one says, grew up in North Carolina and went to visit family and friends in Indiana. 15-hour drive. The drive wasn't so bad. I was about 8 or 9. My older brother was about 12. And then it was my parents. Visiting the friends was nice, but somewhere along the way, my brother got stomach virus. Oh, no. We didn't find this out until we packed up to head home. Those were the worst 15 hours I've ever spent in a car. Throughout the day, my brother was leaking from both ends. I was in the front seat covering my head with a blanket because the smell was so bad. every half hour or so, I would hear some hacking followed by a nasty hurl and splattering into another bag. There was a plastic bag of puke hanging on the door handle behind my seat. We stopped a million times so my brother could change underwear because every time he puked, he pooped a little. He ran out of his underwear and had to wear mine. The smell was so bad that we pulled over to a rest stop and opened the doors. People were visibly disgusted. We were 3 hours from home and in the North Carolina mountains, where my grandparents were staying with some friends. We thought about stopping for the night, but my brother said, no, I want to go home. So we powered through the next 3 hours. We finally got home, and the other day, we all ended up getting the same stomach virus. The van smelled so awful, it couldn't be saved. We had to burn it in the backyard. I'm joking. But we did have to get it professionally cleaned, and it was almost a Seinfeld episode. Worst road trip ever.
Yeah, that sounds awful. I mean,
that's a lot worse than not going to Hershey Park.
Yeah, that is a lot worse. I thought mine was more of like suspense. Like we were excited as kids, and
yeah, you're like, oh, we're going to Hershey Park.
My dad ruined it all because he just wanted to get home.
Well, maybe like you said, we can take our kids.
Yeah, but that story is pretty bad.
That's bad.
I hate throw up is the grossest smell ever too.
It is the grossest.
And especially the sound. If someone's like right next to you doing it, it's like, dude, quit. Quit. Don't act like that today. Yeah, that's gross. I couldn't imagine that. I probably would have done what they did. I know she said it was a joke, but I probably would have burnt that van. Yeah. House fired. Everything. That's funny. I got another story, though.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So, we go on a family trip to Destin, Florida, with my aunt and uncle, and I guess my family didn't check the weather, and they have an emergency evacuation towards the end of the trip.
A hurricane evacuation?
Yeah. And towards the end of the trip. They said that it was all of a sudden, it wasn't like it was sunny all week and then something happened or something. The warm clouds and all that stuff. Warm air with cold cloud. How does it, warm and cold air mix? Whatever. Anyway, so we go down and, we get our hotel was mandatory evacuation, so we get back and so the hotel that we were staying in, we get back and it's an emergency evacuation. So my dad's panicking, my mom's panicking, my aunt and uncle are panicking. My aunt's throwing all her stuff from the hotel into the car, just freaking out, and we figure out there's no gas anywhere. So all the gas stations are like no gas. No gas anywhere. So of course my dad's freaking out. How are we going to get home? All this stuff. And the worst part about this whole trip is it took us like 11 hours to get from Atlanta, Georgia or Destin, Florida to Atlanta, Georgia. That's only 5.5 hours.
Oh, because of the traffic.
Yeah, so it was awful. It was bumper to bumper forever. And we get to the worst part. Backtrack on this. The worst part about this trip is my sister left her baby doll under the bed and was crying the whole way home because my aunt or my dad or somebody left the baby doll under the bed at the hotel. So she wanted the baby doll, and
so
she was
for 11 hours you were
just crying.
you were
I want my baby doll. I want my baby doll. Where's my baby doll? I want my baby doll. Yeah. So, correct me if I'm wrong, if my parents are watching this, but I think that was the week that my brother tried on my sister's bathing suit, one-piece Nemo bathing suit.
You did send me this picture.
And was running around the hotel saying, "My name's Mackenzie. My name's Mackenzie." And he was doing that, and it was the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Because he had a one-piece blue with yellow straps, Nemo and Dory. I think it might have been Dory. A Dory bathing suit on. And it was just comical. I could be wrong though. That might have been a separate trip. I don't remember a lot of those trips.
Well, you were young.
Yeah. So that's a funny road trip story.
That was funny.
You got another one?
Okay, so I have another one, but this isn't a road trip. This is a plane ride.
Ooh.
Flying from Buffalo to Atlanta. We are coming into land in Atlanta, and it's storming. Out of one window, everything is dark and stormy, and the other is bright and sunny. AKA, the plane on the right on the turbulent edge of the storm. So we are coming in. The plane is jerking in all directions. I can tell we are like a 20 to 25 degree angle to the actual runway, like facing the wrong direction. We get to 100 feet or so right over the runway, and the pilot has to bail out, slams on the throttle, and pulls us out of the landing. Cue the same scenario up 3 more times. 3 landing attempts, 3 bailouts. We finally got it on the 4th try. So they just kept going like down,
up and down,
up to try to land.
I think the worst part's landing. I mean, some pilots don't know how to land, and you're freaking hitting that cement at
like
700 miles an hour.
Yeah, we had a pretty good landing, like when we got back from Nashville. Do you remember that?
Yeah, Spirit Airlines.
We will never fly Spirit again.
Southwest or Delta. Southwest or Delta. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of planes, to be honest. My dad flies a ton of miles every year, so he kind of gets used to flying. But me, I feel more safe crossing an intersection with semis coming.
Than flying a plane.
Yes.
Yeah, you have to be on the.
You get in that air with rough clouds and rain and lightning. It feels like you're in another world. I've been on a plane one time, and the seatbelt signs are like blinking, and freaking the mast didn't come down yet, but
they were about
it felt like we were dropping 20,000 feet a second. My stomach was below the plane in the freaking bed where the suitcase was in the cargo.
Like you were riding a roller coaster with
no, it was worse than that.
No strap.
It was awful, and I kept texting my dad. I had some Wi-Fi in the plane. He gives me like free Wi-Fi internet passes or whatever, and he was like, "Dude, it's fine." I was like, "Dude, there are people screaming on this plane and crying." He's like, "I fly 1,000,000 miles a year. It's nothing, whatever." But it was awful, and right when I landed, I was like, "I'm never flying again." Obviously, I flew back the next week or something from Tampa to Georgia when I was moving and stuff, but it was awful. It scared me.
That sounds awful.
Yeah. I have a story.
Okay. Let's hear it.
About college baseball road trip from GSW to Florence, South Carolina for the NCAA Peach Belt Conference Tournament.
Oh,
My parents
so
are
you
going
were
to
up
get
for the
pissed.
Peach Belt?
My parents are going to get pissed about this. So we were playing. No, the team's playing a tournament to see who the conference champion is, or whatever. You have to like qualify, obviously. But so we have the conference, or we're heading. We have the conference championship or conference tourney starting in a week before this road trip. So we're all prepping. We're all getting, we're practicing. We're getting our stuff ready. We're packing. We're doing laundry, all that nonsense. And Friday or Thursday morning comes. We have to be at the field at I think 8:30 or something. We're leaving at 9:45 or something, 9:30 or something, and we're getting ready, loading the bus, making sure we have everything. Maybe it was Wednesday. I can't remember. That was a long time ago. It was 5-6 years ago, whatever. And we throw everything on the bus. We're sitting there, the seniors or whatever sit in the back, freshmen up front, sophomores. It was kind of like a, how it
like
works.
a school bus.
Yeah. Well, we're about halfway to South Carolina, and some of the seniors, I still talk to them now. You know who you are out there if you're watching this. They were like, Zach, come back to the back. And I liked a lot of the seniors. They were good mentors to me, and being 18 years old on a college baseball team with a bunch of 23, 24-year-olds, fifth years and stuff like that. It was cool, but my age now, it's like, wow. But they were like, Zach, come back, sit back here. We have to show you something. And, being an 18-year-old kid and looking up these upperclassmen, I'm like, dude, I'm definitely going back there. I'm so cool.
Yeah,
they're
that you were invited back to the back of the bus. Yeah,
they're calling my name to go back to the back of the bus.
And I bet the rest of the freshmen were like,
yeah, so
why aren't they calling our name?
They go back. I go back there, and they're like, Zach, dude, do you dip? I was like, no, and I'm not dipping. They're like, dude, put it in. I swear to God, this is Copenhagen mint pouches. Like, put 2 in, and you are golden, dude. You'll feel like amazing. You'll feel like you're on top of the world. It's like, mint bubble gum. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm a baseball player. I'm going to do it. Screw it. Put it in. About 10 minutes in, I'm like, wow, this ain't bad, guys. About 30 minutes in, I'm like, yeah, it's not bad. About 35 minutes in, I'm like, guys, is it hot? They're like, no, it's hot outside, but it's 70 degrees on this bus. 68 degrees. I was like, dude, I am sweating. They're like, I'm sitting there sweating bullets. I had to take my batting jacket off and have my hat off. I was like, oh my God, I'm about to die. So I reclined the bus seat, and I'm just sitting there. I kept the dip in because they were like, you have to keep it in or it's going to get worse. So, of course, I believed.
Wait, really? That happens?
No. But I believed them, so I kept it in all the way to the freaking hotel. It's 45 an hour away from us left once I was dipping. And I got to the hotel, and they were calling out rooms, and I stayed with 3 seniors. It was Evan, Zach, and Lawson. But I was like, dude, I gotta go to the room. And I felt so bad. It was like I had a stomach virus. And I just laid on the bed, and we didn't have to report back for 2.5 hours. I just laid on the bed the entire time. I felt like my world was spinning. And they were laughing. Did you eventually take? Yeah, I took it out when I walked in the hotel, and I remember just laying on that bed, and I'm like, dude, there's no way my life can go uphill from here. I just felt so bad. My head was spinning. My freaking stomach was spinning. I had sweat bullets this big running down the side of my head. And oh my gosh, it was awful. And they were all laughing. They were like, ha ha, it was funny. But, and then, we leave the hotel and two of the kids put in freaking 3 pouches. They're fine, And from that day, I said, I will never do this again.
I remember the first time I dipped.
You dipped?
No, it was a joke.
I was about to say, we need to move to Alabama or something.
I have a funny road trip story that I just thought of.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, so I don't remember how old I was, but we lived in Ohio at the time. God, no. So we were going from Ohio to Florida to go to Disney World. For some reason, the traffic was really bad. I don't remember why. I think it was like spring break, so like maybe that's why the traffic was bad. I'm not really sure. Anyway, so we are driving, and it was my mom's friend, and then her daughter, who I happen to be friends with. And we were driving, and her mom's friend was like, "Oh, hey, like, should we stop for the night?" And my mom's like, "Oh, I mean, like, yeah, if you want to, or we can just keep driving." Because I think we left, like, pretty early in the morning, so, like, that we wouldn't have to stop, so we could just drive all the way through and, like, get there, like, late at night to the hotel, because we were staying, like, in a Disney hotel, like, whatever. And my mom's friend was like, "No, yeah, let's stop, like, my aunt has this, like, really cool cabin, like, in Florida, like, not, like, north of Orlando." And my mom was like, "Oh, yeah, that sounds cool. Let's do it." So we get to this, like, cabin, and it is a church camp, like, area. So, yes, they were cabins, but it was, like, this, like, compound with, like, a bunch of cabins, and in the center there was, like, this huge, like, fire pit, like, with, like, benches and stuff, and there was, like, a dining hall. So she's like, "Yeah, it's like a cabin, and like there's like food and like, whatever, bunk beds." And like as a kid, I was like, "Yeah, this is so cool." So then when we get there, it's like literally a church camp. And I was like, we're like driving up to it, and I'm like, this is not. I was imagining like a log cabin, like I don't know.
You go up to like Tennessee and Gatlinburg and stuff, and you stay in a cabin.
Yeah, I don't think we weren't quite in Florida, like maybe we were in Georgia, I don't really remember, but I just remember like getting so excited that we were staying in a cabin, and it was literally a church camp.
That would piss me off.
Twin-sized bunk beds.
That would piss me off.
It was kind of funny.
Well, when my freshman year of college, my dorm room, we had twin beds.
Twin beds?
Yeah.
Like, the twin, yeah, because in dorms, don't you have, like, twin extra long?
Couldn't move.
Like that?
Yeah.
Right, is it twin
it was
extra
awful.
long?
Awful. But yeah, those are some good stories. I like those stories. It's always fun to tell stories from the past that were, you think's funny or something. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Well, of course, before we go here, I'm gonna say, go Dogs. I mean, it's gonna
today.
It's probably gonna be in. Yeah, they play Vanderbilt today, which is a joke. But, I'm gonna say that probably every podcast. So I just want to let you guys know that Georgia's coming for you. Kirby Smart will not be hunted at the University of Georgia. Go Dogs. Yeah, so we're heading to the wedding right now. We're approximately about 2 hours away.
We're going to have some lunch.
When we post this, obviously, it's, we're going to be Saturday. At the wedding. But,
yeah. Where are we stopping for lunch?
Nukes, probably.
Nukes.
She had Nukes for the first time, like a month ago, when we went to Athens to see my good old buddy, Adam.
Maggie was there.
Maggie, yeah, Maggie. No, Maggie just sat in the room. We didn't see her at all.
Yeah, we didn't see Maggie at all.
But yeah. So that was our first time. Justin Chauvin put me on some Nukes back in high school. So.
But I thought everyone like made fun of you for liking Nyx.
What?
I
No,
remember you
everybody.
telling me that.
Yeah, everybody made fun of me for liking it because they didn't think it was that good, and I
It's
was
so
like,
good.
whatever.
What do we get?
And Justin put me on it. So but technically they were making fun of Justin because Justin put me on it. He took me there one day. I was like, oh my god.
What do we normally get?
Nukes Q.
Yeah,
Original.
we get the same thing.
Here we go.
Is that gonna have like a lot of the same like taste? I feel like I feel like when we go places, we get the same meal, like Longhorn.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, thank you for watching, and if you guys could do us a favor, we would love it. Please subscribe, like, follow us on social media. We would love your support.
And your feedback.
And your feedback. Questions. Ask us questions.
Yeah, comments and questions.
We would love to answer some questions in the feeds and, on the podcast, and even reels. We can do some short reels and answer a question, and
yeah, that's a good idea.
TikTok videos and whatever. So
we're active on the socials.
Active on the social. Well, it looks like it's about to hurricane here in Florida, so
Daytona.
We need to focus on the weather and the road.
Yes.
Until then, episode 5. We will see you guys on the 6th. Boom.
Bye, guys.
Hit me like a ton of bricks. Doesn't matter, weak or strong. Take your time and do your tricks. All I do is sing along. Yeah, I need you around for brighter light and firmer